Hare Krishna. Today, let us try to understand the cause of all the causes. We see so many varieties of living beings around us. There are trees, plants, insects, reptiles, birds, animals, human beings, and there are many varieties of creation around us. When we walk into a garden, we see so many varieties of plants bearing varieties of beautiful flowers and fruits. If you analyze this rose plant, which is producing so many varieties of beautiful rose flowers, what is the cause of this rose flower? The cause of this rose flower is the rose plant itself. Now, what is the cause of this rose plant? The rose plant grows because of fertile manure, earth itself, which supports the roots of the plant. Then it requires water, it requires sunlight, it requires carbon dioxide, and it requires a gardener who maintains it. And to produce the manure, there are so many living beings, such as earthworms and other microbes, which make manure for feeding the rose plant. So, in this way, we see the cause of the rose plant are material ingredients such as earth, water, fire, which is nothing but sunlight here, air, and ether. And there are spiritual living beings taking care of the growth of this plant, like the earthworms, microbes, and the gardener. In this way, if we analyze, look at this skyscraper building. A skyscraper building is made of material ingredients such as stone, bricks, cement, steel, wood, and there are living beings behind this whole creation of a skyscraper. There is a proprietor, owner of this building, who wanted to create this building. He invested his money, he had his desire, he had his feelings, and he employed a designer to make this design. So that designer applied his intelligence, and then it was brought into uh, construction under some superior engineers and other laborers. So this whole building, the cause of this whole building is again material ingredients made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and subtle material ingredients such as mind, intelligence, and false ego. Mind, that it is a mind of the mind means the functions of the mind, thinking, feeling, and willing. So the proprietor, the owner of this building, he thought that let me have a skyscraper building. So he had a feeling, he thought about it, he had a feeling, and he willed, he wanted to achieve it. So that is mind's function. The cause behind this feeling is mind. And then to create this design, intelligence has gone into it. There is a lot of architectural engineering required to come up with the design itself. So that intelligence was provided by the architecture, who the engineer who designed this whole architectural design. And then it was brought into creation, it was constructed with the help of other contractors and laborers. So in this way, there are subtle material ingredients also behind this creation. And finally, there is the living beings themselves, the owner, the designer, the engineers, and then the laborers. They are all spiritual energy. So, in this way, if you analyze all the things around us, we will come to the conclusion that there are material energy, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and subtle material energy made of mind, intelligence, and false ego, and superior energy, the spiritual energy itself. So, all the things around us actually are made of this, a combination of these two energies, material energy and spiritual energy. Now, if we further try to understand what is the cause of this material energy and spiritual energy, we get the answer from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the conclusion of all Vedic scriptures. The essence of all Vedic scriptures is given in the Bhagavad Gita by the Supreme Lord Himself. Lord Krishna Himself has spoken the essence of the Vedic scriptures in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, भूमिरापो अनलो वायुः खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति यम्मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा. Krishna says, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence and false ego, altogether these 8 comprise my separated material energies. Further, Krishna says, Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho edam dharyate jagat. He says, besides this inferior nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind, which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining this universe. So clearly Lord Krishna says that these two energies, material energy and superior spiritual energy, both are his energies. And then Krishna says, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Hetu nanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. Krishna says, this material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti. It is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So it is Krishna who is behind this material nature. This material nature is working so wonderfully. We see systematically how sun rises and sets. And we see the seasons changing, summer, winter, rainy season, spring. So all the seasons are systematically changing and there are varieties of material laws working. So all these things are working under the direction of Krishna. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. So in this way, when we analyze and see, the cause of all causes is Lord Krishna himself, who is the Supreme Lord. He is above all the spiritual living entities. So Krishna is not an ordinary person. He is the Supreme Lord. So the cause of all causes is the Supreme Lord himself, who is none other than Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.